got my fish. I got my fish.
There's Dwayne Miller's van. And Don's truck, Don Smith's truck. That's what I rode in. And that's Randy's Blazer out there. Or maybe it's Bob's. Sure.
Man, I was going to varnish and everything.
Hey, Tim, did you see that staff that was laying right there?
That was over there.
Well, hopefully we're about ready to go now. This is Saturday, April 4th, 1992. Emil and I have stopped here close to Worthington, Glacier, Worthington, just off that way. Just around that corner there. And around in here. We're having the World Extreme Skiing Championships here now. They're skiing right down off the top of that peak up there. They're not skiing right this minute. Probably couldn't see much anyway. There's a few spots at the top there. But anyway, that's the mountain that they're skiing down from. Windy. I'm sure it's windier up there than it is here. You can see there's a lot of people along the highway here. And be watching it. From off to this other side here. I think off the top of that one, coming down from there. You can see the wind blowing the snow off the top of the mountains now. Plenty chilly. If it was out of the wind, it's not bad, but it's plenty cold. This is Saturday night, almost 7 o'clock, April 4th. And we moved for good out here to the lake house, and so I'm going to take some pictures. This is from the deck just outside our bedroom. There's a sliding door here on the deck. And so this is looking to the south. The carpenters are still working on some major repair in the sun porch area. See this driveway going through the snow there. Turn this off and take one out the front of the house, which would be looking towards the west. Okay, this is looking right out I'm on the deck in the front of the house, main entrance. Looking to the west, and that's the other end of Robe Lake, and the mountains all along the other side of the lake. Just take a little walk down here. It won't be too long. The brown bears will be waking up, coming up over that little ridge over there. Another week or two, probably. Now, of course, right now I'm looking to the north. And I'll swing around to look at our neighbor to the east. It's Rex Brown, I believe his name is. Swing back around a little bit here. I'm going to go back into the house and take some pictures out the other directions. Okay, I've just stepped out the back door, the kitchen door, looking to the east, so you see the neighbor's house again. Sitting back around the mountains this way, you can see the pipeline cut across the mountain on the other side of the highway over there. And then this is, again, looking back to the south from this end of the house. I'll swing down, there's gullies they want us to keep a path open to the lake. There's the satellite dish that picks up the feed for all the rooms. And I believe down in the snow in the lake there's a dock. That's where I'll put my boat, probably. That's the deck that goes out to the north side of the house. Again, that's where the bears come from, on that side of the lake. I'll go back inside and see what I can get on the inside now. Kitchen. Lady that owns the place just bought this new bread baker, and it should be just about finishing the first batch right now. We're trying it out. Getting ready for maybe some company, some people coming in next, maybe Monday at the earliest. And then this is just looking to the west down the hallway. Of a view in here. This is the Bartlett Room. They just finished the new bathroom in here, but there's a lot of repair work being done on the floor and the ceiling because of water damage. And our room is the Iditarod room. It's just down the hall to the right there, and then the bathroom right opposite the hall, across the hall from it. Swing around and look into the living room. The registration table for people when they come in. You can see a telescope there to look for bears or whatever. Nice fireplace. You want us to keep fires burning in there when the guys come home from work in the evening. The bookshelves were just built in the mantle and the hearth. The carpenters that are here. A lot of this furniture is new this year. There's more coming in. I'll go upstairs now. Again, going this direction, I'm going to the east. And right in there is the Columbia Room. That's the one that's going to be really fixed up for the important guests, like the president of LES and so on when he comes down. With a full bath off to the side. The Keystone Room is much smaller, of course, but it has a sun porch on it with another bed out there. There's no bathroom in there, so they would use this bath out here in the hallway. Just across the hall from them. I'll swing back towards the west. And we'll look in the McCarthy Room, which you can see is very large and spacious. Each room has a refrigerator and a TV in it. And this one has a fireplace in it and a full bath. They may change this to just one bed and make it more of a suite for long-term guests with one bed and table and couch and that type of thing. And the Sugarloaf Room. Which has the antique bed. And closets, and just a wash stand, so they would use the bathroom down the hall. And again, the refrigerator and TV. And then we'll go in the dining room, which is where the men will be eating their breakfast in the mornings. Another telescope up here for viewing. And of course this again is to the north, and I'll swing to the west. And all south. The refrigerator will be stocked with items for their lunches and so on during the daytime. They'll make their own lunch and take with them cold cuts and fruits and yogurt and so on. The little shed right down there has a jacuzzi in it, 8-person jacuzzi tub, and that's going to be moved up closer to the house so there's better access. You can see, looking no matter which direction you look, it's fantastic views. We're right above our bedroom right now. That shed there is kind of an eyesore. When the snow melts, I'm going to take a look at that and see if we can do something different there. I'm not sure what all is stored in there. You can see the Mazda pickup that brought me up here last year. I think the bread should be just about ready. I think I'll go down and have some fresh baked bread.
The neighbor's house, looking east. It is now 10:20 p.m. And there's lots of clouds, low clouds in the mountains this evening. You can hear the birds. Robe Lake just below us. looking toward the western sky. And we see a boat on the water. And this view is from my back deck off the kitchen. Looking again east. On a clear day you can see the tops of these mountains. Wednesday, June 3rd, 1992. Looking out my kitchen window, the Lake House Bed and Breakfast, Valdez, Alaska. Bright sunny day. Sun is just coming up over the mountains. Unlike last evening. And it is 8 o'clock in the morning. The birds are singing. They've been singing almost all night long, as a matter of fact. And here's Robe Lake. This is out my back window, off the kitchen. The other direction, out my kitchen window. Actually, I'm standing on the deck in the back, outside the kitchen. What a view. Especially beautiful on a clear day. Dick's boat and our Mazda.
This is from the front of the house, and just showing the far, that's the east end of the lake, and the lake is over 3 miles long. This is Robe Lake. There's Trumpeter Swans. I don't see them up here right now, but there are Trumpeter Swans here, and ducks and geese. And this is swinging down towards the west. At the far west end of the lake, Ketchum's Flying Service has a float plane base, so they come in and out of here now. Now that the ice is gone as of last Sunday. Yeah, it's pretty hard to see, but on a tree that's leaning out over the lake way down there, there's a bald eagle sitting.
Huh?
Yep.
He's evidently fairly young. He made a few ventures out and didn't catch anything and came back and looks a little frustrated.
Something. There he sits.
This is swinging all the way around, looking back towards the south, the other side of the low river, the valley, and the pipeline runs basically along, just part way down, quite a ways down that slope there, all the way into the terminal. That's the tree leaning right in the center of the picture right now, but it's pretty tough to make out without the zoom lens on here. This is a stellar jay. We have a lot of those around. This is on the back deck. Rochelle left some breadcrumbs around. It's still June 3rd, a little later in the morning, but we're getting over 19 hours of daylight right now. And by the 21st of June, we'll have over 20.
This is going up the stairs to the second floor. Take a walk into the Columbia Room. This is the Columbia Room, a nice big room for VIPs. Someone is staying in here right now, obviously. but it is a very nice room. The Columbia Room, just in case I didn't get it before. Named after Columbia Glacier. This is a beautiful room with an antique bed. This is the Sugarloaf Room. This is one of the nicer, smaller rooms. Beautiful big bed. Takes up half the room. And even the little steps that lead up to it. This is a charming room. Not all the rooms are this charming, but this one is very nice. Each room has its own refrigerator and TV. This is the lake view room, dining room. This is a very nice room to eat breakfast in because obviously you have the view of the lake on the north side. On the west. And then southwest view, even the south view. So this room is really a very nice area to eat meals in. And this is where they build their own sandwiches in the morning, make their own bag lunches. And then the nice big table is set in the evening for breakfast in the morning. And we serve breakfast anywhere from 6 to 9 p.m. Refrigerator stocked with food. And the antique china hutch, which is used for storage. Kind of an interesting piece of furniture. And this is a view of the upper hallway, second floor. And now we'll go downstairs. Just a nice cozy room to sit in, when the fire's going especially. New fern. So far so good, it looks pretty healthy. This is the Alaska telephone and Alaska fax machine. Friends send faxes anytime. They haven't yet, but please do. A few videos on the wall can be played in their individual rooms. This room is set up for 2 areas of conversation. The TV area, with the sofa, and then the area in front of the fireplace with the 2 chairs and table in front. You're on.
Hi everybody. If I had this on a tripod, my wife would probably say I hate it when he does that. Since she's holding the camera. But since I'm not going to be there to say hello, I want to say hello to everybody on the videotape. So, hi Scott, hi Denise, and James. I'd like to be there, or maybe I'd like to have you here so we could go fishing out in the boat on the lake back here. And Andrew, you could have a lot of fun up here too. I love you all, and I'd like to be there too, but I can't make it this time. And Mark, hope everything's going well in your job. And that you're not too busy that you can't do a little fishing, maybe bluegill fishing that lake just west of you there that we found out about. And Pam, I hope you're feeling all right, and that you're not working too hard. And Benjamin, now that you're a big 6 years old, you're almost a man in the family, so you have to help Mom as much as you can. And Robin, you just had your 4th birthday, so you're getting to be a big girl too. And Jonathan, happy Jonathan, who was just 2 years old in February. I hope you're enjoying your new baby sister. And all of you say hello to your baby sister Kimberly for me. And everybody hug and kiss each other for me, okay? Maybe we'll see you later this summer or this fall sometime. Bye for now. And hopefully we can send a copy of this tape down to Brett and Susan. So hello to Brett. And I hope everything's going all right for you. And I hope you enjoy your new house when you get there and get a chance to take some time off and do a little fishing. But don't catch them all before I can get down there. And Susan, try not to get too busy and don't wear yourself out. Let the kids do some of the work. Because Taylor's almost 12 years old now. He should be able to do a lot of work, right, Taylor? Hello, Taylor, and hope you're doing okay and your Taekwondo is doing good and whatever else you're involved in. And I hope you get a chance to do some fishing this summer. Tim, same for you. I hope your taekwondo is working out well and you get a chance to play ball or soccer or whatever else you have time for this summer. And hi to Christina. Christina with the one little dimple on the side of her mouth. Be a good girl for Mommy and help take care of Amy and Annika, will you? And Amy, hi Amy. I hope your leg is all better and you can run around as good as new now. And try not to fall off any more gym sets, okay? And Annika, I hope you're doing all right and you're not giving Mom too much trouble. And I'd like to be there and come and hold all of you and hug you and kiss you, but I can't make it, so we'll have to do it by tape this time. And maybe later this summer or this fall, maybe I can make a visit down to the lower 48 and see all of you. Thanks. Bye. Well, we've come outside now. It's still Wednesday, June 3rd. It's about almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's got a little bit cloudy. It's a little bit chilly now. I'll give you a little panoramic view here from up the drive just a little ways. You can see we're up above the house. The lake in the background. And I'll just kind of walk down the driveway here. That little shed behind those spruce trees is where that sauna is, but it's going to take a lot of work to get that jacuzzi back into working order. I'm going to just swing down here to show some, I guess they're primroses. There's hundreds and hundreds of them all around here. I'm sure that's what attracts, one of the things that attracts the hummingbirds. We get hummingbirds around, we got feeders up now, so there's a lot of hummingbirds around too. I'll try to pan down without jiggling too much. I don't have any gyroscopic stabilizer here. The sliding doors on this side, that's right in our bedroom, and then the bay window, of course, is the side of our bedroom. So we're right below the dining room. You can see the dining room with the coffee maker and the refrigerator up above there. And now that the snow is all gone, there's plenty of room for parking out here. We had one group of 20 or 21 people. We were all able to find parking places here. The railing got damaged with all the snow this year, so it's got to be replaced. See the Mazda and the boat in the back there. There's also some flowers in the back, some jonquils, and then there's some rhubarb there. I think somebody had a garden of some kind there before. Sometime this week they're supposed to start adding on 4 more bedrooms to the back corner of this house and 4 bathrooms. They'll finish 2 of them this year and then finish 2 more next year. I'll just swing up there just to give you some idea. You can see, I haven't mentioned before, there's waterfalls all the way across there. Some of them you can't see too well. You can see maybe the lines, but we can hear them all the time. And you can see a small line there. There's a little bigger one over there. But there's 6 or 8 of them across there in that span. One of these days we should fix that E on the sign on the lake house. See the hummingbird feeder just to the left of the lake house sign there. There's none around there right now, but there are some really pretty ones around, some ruby-capped and some ruby-throated ones.
Right up to the welcome.
This is Friday, June 5th. Rochelle is on her way to Minneapolis. I thought I'd take a shot of these trumpeter swans down here. There's two there. There's four more flying, but you can't see them now. They're clear up over on the other side. You know, maybe you can just barely see them. But they came right over the house. So that means there's probably about 5 pair on the lake, as near as I can tell right now. Gorgeous sunshiny day, a little bit breezy. Probably 55 or so. You hear the birds. Plenty of those. That eagle has been a regular around here too, flying down and across in front of the house. He's down in his favorite tree, but it's just really tough to see him from here with no zoom lens. Just an average day in the life of the lake house. Well, it's Saturday, June 6th, and I finally got my boat down on the lake. This is just a view looking up at the lake house for change. And then Rex Brown's house would be right over in here, kind of behind that knob there. And just try to pan slowly around here. I'll go in a couple of these bays. I think the swans are, that I saw the other day, I think they're nesting back over back in that little cove back in there. I may see if they're back there. When I go back to the other end of the lake, I'll take a picture of the landing. There's 3 float planes right down there right now that are all Ketchums, I assume. Some of the small ones. He's got a big one that takes tourists in. That's about 3 miles down that way, down the other end of the lake there. I'll just keep on swinging around here. There's supposedly a path down. I still haven't really been able to find that path. I may have to just cut a new one from the house down the lake there. See if I can find one that's not quite so steep. Anyway, that's a 360-degree view. I'll see what else I can find here. Now, this is one of Ketchum's larger planes coming in now. I'll get a picture of him. He's going to land right down here in front of me, I think. A little bit windy today. It's too windy to fly fish, but I may try spinning, some spinning gear in a little bit. Can't see the plane too clear, but at least you got some nice scenery to look at down there. And you can kind of see the planes in the dock way down there about where he's heading now. A little ways now. Turn the motor off here. One of the trumpeter swan pairs there. The airplane is just taking off now, so. Actually, I was coming down this way to a little closer picture of the waterfall here. It's still a pretty good size. It's still a long ways away. From the house, you can see that, along with a lot of these other smaller ones here. But and they probably don't even have a name. There's so many of them. Like I said the other day, I think there's probably at least 3 nesting pairs and maybe 5 on the lake here, up and down the lake. They're big. They're I think I read somewhere their wingspan could be up to 8 feet, so they're good-sized birds. There's also a lot of terns. That's what these are right over here, up and down. And there's some loons that I hear every night. There's some mallards that are nesting here. A lot of other ducks that I don't even know the names of. Well, if they take off, I'll try to get the camera going again. Yeah, there they go. I'll go around them. I'm not going to try to harass them. I just thought you'd like to see them inflate. They drop down again now, so I'll just put the camera down and kind of go around. Well, I'm way down at the west end of the lake. I've come back this channel that I assume is one that leads to Rope River. I just kind of drifted up against the bank here because it turns then and goes up. But there's acres and acres and acres of this gorgeous nesting area. Hundreds and hundreds of ducks, geese, whatever else. There's some small birds, look like snipes. I don't know if they're gallinules or what they are, but there's loons, ducks, terns. You see, this is just ideal for them. You can see the windsock and the plains over there. I'll get a closer shot of that. You can't even see the house from here. It's way down the other end behind that that rise right there in the middle there. Another channel going down this way. I don't think I'll go much farther back in here because I have to row out. Haven't seen any fish yet. I've seen some minnows, schools of minnows, but haven't seen any fish. So I'll have to maybe check a little with some of the locals and see where they're supposed to be. Yeah, this is public landing, of course. There's 3 planes right there right now. And I'm not sure whether they may or may not be catching planes. They might be just private planes because I think you can leave them here. It's a city facility. A few people aren't just in the lower 48. He's been out there scaring up the ducks and swans and all that. You see the truck there. Very nice landing. When I get a little closer inside there, I'll show you a closer view of it. It's very easy to back down into. You can see the landing is nice and hard, and it's easy to get. Just drive back into it. Crank the boat up on a trailer. Let's get a nice dock here. It comes into here. I would assume you could, tie your boat up to that and lock it if you wanted to. And then the airplanes over there's the first one, and there's 2 more over here. west. This is Wednesday, August 12th, and we're back in Mineral Creek Canyon. Well, I want you to stay over there so I can get you in the picture too. I want to get our visitors in the picture here so everybody can see them. Rochelle's mom and dad just got here last night, and so I'm taking them for a little scenic tour here. This is typical of some of the streams and waterfalls back here in Mineral Creek Canyon, just that goes right from downtown Valdez right into here. This is all snowmelt from glacier clear up on top there. And it runs down all the way down through here under this bridge. And down this way, all the way down to Mineral Creek that then flows into Prince William Sound right by Valdez. And this is a gorgeous drive back in here. Dirt roads. It's not open in the winter or anything, but you see the snow fairly far down on the mountains. And the fireweed in the foreground. The state flower of Alaska. Some avalanches have carried that stuff down. We're going to drive all the way back. You can drive about 6 miles back from town, and they're still doing some gold mining along the creek, and then farther back up in there with heavy equipment. One more glimpse at the waterfall. Well, we're a little farther down Mineral Creek now. It's about noon on Wednesday, August 12th. This is just another one of the little falls we got and streams. Pretty fast water, pretty tough to swim in. And they're doing some, trying to do some gold mining back in here too. That's what that is there. They set up a sluice box in there and try to do some gold mining. Lots and lots of water coming down all these falls here. This is from the same spot, just looking up across the Mineral Creek. Another waterfall over there. We're almost at the back end of the road up Mineral Creek Canyon. And we just parked along here to swing over here and get a picture of another waterfalls here. Really one of the prettier ones. You can't really see all of it at one time because it angles back and forth. And there's another one right alongside it, small one alongside it. And there's, I just pointed out a couple, there's a hanging glacier right up there. And then I'll swing around the other side. There's another one that you can see right up there, right up in the middle there is another glacier. And that's where the water comes from, glaciers up on top. We'll continue on back to the gates. It's just kind of around the corner here a little bit now. There's some more streams coming down there, you can see. We're back at the end of as far as you can drive. You can actually walk back in here to the mine that's back there, but it's quite a ways back there yet. I'll just show you now. Remember, this is August 12th, and we still got snow down here by the stream. Of course, we had 530 inches of snow last winter, so it's not surprising there's some left over. You see the glacier clear up on there. I'll swing all the way back up the top here, and there's this what looks like a small stream up there, but there's still a lot of water coming down from that one. Well, the guy at the gate opened the gate for us, and we've driven back farther now. We're kind of crossing this little stream now. We're going to take a look at the old stamp mill back here. There's a truck with a wheel broken out. We'll just drive right on across through here. Well, we crossed over and we turned around. We're headed back the other way now. That's about as far as we want to go. This goes right on down to the stream creek that flows, Mineral Creek. And the stamp mill is just back there. We'll pull in by there and I'll take a picture of that. Here comes some more fresh tourists coming in to look at the stamp mill. We drove back into a little road and there's just a trail back here you can see. Yeah, this is a stamp mill where they break the rocks apart so they can sluice them through. We're going to try to get it back in operation, I think, or something like this anyway. Pretty hard to tell what all the operation was. The equipment is up towards the top. I don't think I'd want to walk in there and look around too much. I'll go around the other side and see what. Look through the door here. Won't be much. I'll take a little shot from when we get farther back. You can see some of the machinery up on top.
You get a shot of that glacier up there too, Dave?
And you can see the stream right down below where they sluice the water right on through here. This is Mineral Creek. And there's a glacier way back there. It's kind of foggy now again. Well, we've walked back the trail a little ways. You can see the equipment, the actual mill up at the top side there that they would run rocks through this, crush them to try to extract the gold out of them. We've just started back the road now, back towards the gate there, and there's this other long waterfall from up there coming down into here. Hard to tell here, but I'll swing around here and you can see a trail up to where some of the mines were. That's a trail there going up the mountain there, foot trail, where they would go up, maybe even horses, I suppose, but you can see some of the mine structure and so on there. We're out in Keystone Canyon, about 10 miles from our house now, just east of our house. And this is Bridaldale Falls. And there's not really very much water coming down, not compared to what there usually is coming out of here. And this is the low river that it's running into. I'll walk over there, you can get a little better view of the river. And this is where our friend Mike Buck takes his rafters through Keystone Adventures. This is also the area that was on Rescue 911, where he rescued 2 nurses 2 years ago in 1990. The river's not very high right now, so it's not really too fast, so it would be a fairly easy trip right now, I think.
Watch out, Phil. Oh, he's way over there. No, he gets over there.
No, they don't get so close.
Come on up here.
Oh, you don't need to stand out on the highway, goodness. This is Horsetail Falls. It's just about a quarter mile back down the highway from Bridaldale. And you can walk right close to it. There's not near as much water here as there usually is either, but it is a pretty structure here. And we have walked clear up right up in there alongside of it, but it's a little bit wet and slippery today. Yeah, like I say, this is only about 8 or 10 miles from the lake house where we live. This Keystone Canyon is really beautiful. It's really steep walls, very narrow. Pipeline runs right up across the top side of the other side over there. I'll swing around a little bit and you can see where the pipeline cut is, that straight line cut right over there. That's where the pipeline comes across to. This is Thursday, must be about August 13th, if it's Thursday. And we're almost at the top of Thompson Pass. We're on the way up to Chitney today. A little bit cooler up here. You see a couple pretty good-sized glaciers right in here. I'll swing around and you can see that we can actually even walk over to where there's snow. Well, I guess there's none right close here. I'll get some later here. There's snow right close to the road even up in here. The pass is only 2,700 feet high, but it's they got about twice as much snow as Valdez did, so they got over 1,000 inches. And this is looking back towards the road. You can see way down in the distance down there is the Low River, right where it goes into Keystone Canyon, where we were yesterday. You can see it between the fog and clouds and so on. And the pipeline cuts right up across here too. You can see the high lines. Maybe you can see the high lines coming across there anyway. We're at on the old highway at about mile 45, 48 or so of the Richardson Highway. And this cabin was just built up here in the last year, so they had a motor home up in there before. Now they got a cabin built. This is just kind of a scenic turnout from the regular highway. That's Mount Billy Mitchell right there. I'll just drop down to show where we came from. We got another couple of 3 miles to go to get back on the old highway, or the new highway. Some people are scared of bears, so they're going to stay in the car. Yep. We're right across the highway from Pump Station 12. That's at mile 65. And this is just a little overlook to look at the pipeline across the highway. This shows it from Prudhoe Bay. You can see it going all the way down to Valdez. 800 miles altogether. And there's some of the facts on the history there. It says more than 1.6 million barrels a day. It's close to 2 million barrels a day on a regular basis. I don't think I'll get close enough to read this all detail on the technical construction, the insulation and the venting and so on, and why it has to be above the permafrost. And if it's in the rocks, that's how it's buried there. This is just a diagram of the pump station over across the street. There's 10 pump stations on the line. They've discontinued using a couple of them, so this is the last one before you get down to Valdez. Now I'll swing back across here. That's the pump station over there. And you can see the pipeline going into it right there. It's 48-inch line, of course. And then they have storage facilities. If there's an emergency, they can store oil for a few 100,000 barrels until they get it repaired. And this is to boost the pressure back up so they can get it up over Thompson Pass primarily. There's a crew that lives here all the time. They have living quarters, cooking facilities, everything. We're just down the road a ways. You see, this is a calf moose in the water. So the mother must be around here somewhere. This is just off the highway here. Yeah, we'll wait around a while and see if the mother comes.
Here, Herb.
No.
Wasn't it?
No, that was the camera.
Oh. There he goes.
Here it is. I think
They've
he's all
all
done.
done.
I'm going to
He's
go
heading
back
up
into
to
the brush.
eat. Now look at, he's all gone. He can't see him no more.
I can see him.
Can you see him yet? I can't. Oh, I can see him now. Yeah.
We're hoping
There
the
he is.
mother would come out of the bushes.
Yeah, and go meet.
Then-
There he's gonna run. He's seen his mother, I betcha. Isn't that something?
Chance of seeing one like that is very rare.
Yeah, just to stand there. and
Just
keep
a
on
small
eating.
body of water here
He wasn't-
alongside the highway.
Not a bit afraid.
A neat experience because it's unusual to find a young calf like that away from the mother. She's back there in the bushes. You can be sure of that. We were hoping that she'd come out, but so for today.
And then go flashing.
It's unread. Red. It's on red.
Plain red?
Mm-hmm.
It's still running?
What do I do?
Of course.
Here we are at Liberty Falls, this side of Chitney, off the Richardson Highway. The sun has come out, so it's a nice, pleasant afternoon. We came up to Liberty Falls. This is a little state park off the side road on the way to Chitney, where we're going to have a wiener roast and get out and just walk around and enjoy the sun. We haven't seen the sun for a couple of days. We'll listen to the waterfall. Very pleasant. There's Dick standing down by the water. And Mom's going to walk over to the fence and I'll get her picture. She stands on the little bridge. Here comes Dick. Mom's going to say hi. We look over the edge under the bridge.
Bet that water's cold.
I bet it is too.
Closer shot, I've walked back in alongside Liberty Creek. This is Liberty Falls, of course. A lot of water coming down through there. And it splits around that big rock formation there. Some comes over here and some comes over on this other side. Water's plenty cold. It's probably 38 degrees or so. That's what most of it is around here. Still melting the glaciers and snow and so on in the mountains. Standing on the rock that Vivian was just standing on, and she's kind of back down by the water here. And there's a bridge there, and our vehicles are parked right up there. We're going to have a picnic here in a minute right up. There's picnic tables and so on here. This is a state park, actually. I think Rochelle's trying a hard way to get across there. That's where I was standing a minute ago taking the pictures. I'm on the opposite side of Liberty Creek now, a little bit closer to the falls. A little different viewpoint on it here. I'll swing around past this tree here. And Rochelle and her dad, they're behind those bushes. And that's where I was taking the pictures from just a minute ago. About where Rochelle is trying to get to. This is just down the path from where we've got our campfire and picnic table. We're gonna have lunch here in a minute. This freezes solid in the wintertime, just like most of the falls do down here. This is the Kappa River, just below Chitney. You can see the log floating in the water down there. It's quite a fast current here. And 2 weeks ago, this is where I was dip netting for red salmon, and Dan Moeller and I got 50 of them, all of them up around 8 or 10 pounds. We had a boat take us on down beyond the bend down there, quite a ways down. But we drove in on this road today, on this side of the river, and just wanted to show this, where this landslide was. It happened just a couple weeks ago, with all the rain and so on. Probably started way up the top there. Way up the top and came all the way down here, and then a lot of the debris is still down here. They cleared it off the road, scooped it off. That's one of the charter boats, like the one we took down. They have a jet unit because there's so much trash in the river, and they can go right up close to the bank and so on down. This is a big river. It flows all the way down, empties into the ocean at Cordova. We're in four-wheel drive back here. There's a lot of steep stuff, rocks and so on. O'Brien Creek, it runs into the Kappa River. And this is where the charter boats run from. take you down the river to go dip net fishing. And this is the Kappa River, of course. You can see now the speed of the current. And you can see the difference in the watercolor where O'Brien Creek comes into the Kappa River. See, the stream is clear and the river's not, obviously. It's full of glacial silt mostly, and then other debris is picked up along the way. The stream is nice and clear.
When I get home off
The Kappa River, as it spreads out across the valley.
Just a minute. You get the strap across the lens again.
Oh, that's
Kappa River.
One,
See
two,
some
three,
kayakers
4, 5. I see
down on the
5.
Kappa River today.
5 kayakers.
It's like 5 kayakers on the Kappa River.
If we don't hear some more.
Yeah, they're way back past you already.
We'll pan across the river valley.
Yeah. I don't know what you can see.
This wire thing now?
Yeah, this is still the Kappa River, and these are fish wheels that the natives can run. And they scoop the fish right out of the river when they're swimming upstream and dump them into a box down on the other side there. I can't really see if there's anything coming up there right now. I think if there's one in there, you'd probably see it flopping, I think is what it would be. There's a lot of fish taken that way. And you can see there's a lot of fish wheels along here. We're the other side of Chitney now on the Mccarthy Road. We're just off the bridge that goes over the Kappa River. And we'll take the road up a little ways and then turn around and head back for Valdez this afternoon. Yet it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon now on Thursday.
What are we taking, Rochelle?
We don't know yet. What kind of a
Mountains alongside of the Kappa River.
oh.
Right where the natives fish with them
We were just up the road
fish wheels.
and we're on our way back from where we saw the fish wheels in the Kappa River, where the natives use the fish wheels to fish for salmon. This was just a beautiful little area on the way out. Stop by and listen to the water. The weather is beautiful this afternoon.
The sun is shining, but it's on the other side of the mountain.
Here we are on the side of the road, and I'll just pan down and show you the little drop-off here at the side of the road. Just a couple feet from the road. And It used to be a railroad, and these are the railroad ties that are falling off. The tracks that have fallen away. There used to be mining back the Kennecott mines down the McCarthy Road, and they hauled the copper out in railroad cars. And this is the remains of the tracks. And of course, this is what happened to the bed. The town of Chitney. I had to drive a ways to get here, and I guess I'll just take a picture just so I have a little reminder. This is Chitney, folks. Once was a booming town, and it is no longer. One store called Spirit Mountain Artworks. Here's the Suburban. Four-wheel drive came in handy today. There's Mom sitting in front of the store, Spirit Mountain Artworks, and the store is open. Yay! Let's go in and see what we can find. Dad and Dick scouting out the town. Not a whole lot here anymore. Someone over here cutting wood with their saw. Okay, here we go. Right around the corner from the art store is the once called Chitney Saloon. Pretty vacated. It is no more. The sign still stands. Pretty dark in here. This is the inside. May not get a chance to come in here again. I don't know what that is. This is the original site of Valdez before the 1964 earthquake. And we'll just look around a little at the scenery before we go into Old Valdez and show you what is not there anymore since the 1964 earthquake on Good Friday. There's some campers that stayed overnight there, just off the main highway, called the Richardson Highway. We did have the sun out this morning. And it's still trying to come out. The tops of the mountains are surrounded in clouds this morning. We'll see them again when the clouds disappear.
Debbie?
This is Friday, August 15th, 1992, and we're at the memorial for the people that died in the earthquake in 1964. And if you can see the second one down of the four names there, that's James Arton Rowe. That's Kim's dad that died. He was the pilot of the plane that crashed after it left here. They brought supplies in and the plane crashed. And Kim is Dan's wife. And there's all the people in Valdez that died. And then some in Chenega and some of the other native villages around. And the town had to be moved because the earth settled here and it was just too much of a flooding problem. They had talked about moving it for a number of years. And so they actually moved a lot of buildings 4 miles farther in to where the city of Valdez currently is, at the base of Minnow Creek. We're standing right on the floor of what was one of the buildings in Old Town. This is a site, a picture of Old Town before the earthquake. You see the docks coming out and the Valdez Glacier clear back up in there. And this is on the floodplain of the Valdez Glacier. That's another view of the dock of Old Town. Let's swing up here and get a perspective. The pipeline terminal is over here. And we're going to go on a tour this afternoon. Take the bus over to that. We'll get some more pictures, but you can see it's kind of in the sun right now. There's 18 tanks, each of which holds 550,000 barrels. And maybe you can see one of the tankers there. Well, we'll get better pictures this afternoon when we're there. Okay, we're going to sing Happy Birthday to Terry today.
Okay.
Terry. It's August 15th. Yeah.
We're going to sing it.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Terry. Happy birthday to you. We're at a stream that runs into the Valdez Glacier stream, and you can see the salmon spawning in here. There's some pink salmon and some chum salmon, or dog salmon they call them. And this is right next to the old Valdez town site, and you can see a lot of them. Of course, they spawn once and they die, and that's it. You can see our position relative to the terminal and in the bay. At this point, they wouldn't be any good to eat. It's not that they'd be poisoned, it's just that the flesh is deteriorated. They just aren't any good. It changes color even. It's just a gray color kind of. No, yeah, most of them are 3 or 4 years old at this point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A whole lot of them line up in these. Just kind of waiting to go further upstream. But they're just all over, and you can see the ones that have the humps on their backs. Those are the pink salmon. They call them humpback. And then the chum salmon are the ones they call dog salmon because they usually feed those to the dogs. So these are pink salmon right here. Yeah, these are pink salmon right here. Yeah.
Anybody have a few words they'd like to say today on this beautiful sunny day?
Well, there's a nice view of Hotel Hill there.
Oh, Hotel Hill? Hotel Hill up here. Hey, hi. We're going to go up to Hotel Hill in a minute. As soon as we get one of these fishing boats to take out. See which one we want to take out and catch that big halibut and get the prize. No, it's still on. It's still on. I'll show you guys how to fish.
You didn't tell them where you are. We're in a small boat harbor in Valdez.
Oh, yeah, we're in a small boat harbor in Valdez right now.
See, that's Hotel Hill there.
Hotel Hill. Okay.
You're going to have a rope hanging around there, around your neck. Yeah.
Doing it because there was a controversy as to who owned the land, right? What was the decision?
That was just one of the reasons.
That was just one. Well, who did own the land?
It's state and federal land. A lot of it is state and federal land. And some of the pump stations, there's about 3 pump stations that they actually bought the land outright. But it's state and federal land. And so there was a lot of permitting that had to be done before they could actually.
Taxpayers. Then as the oil comes out of the ground, it's owned by the government?
And the ballast water piping's right next to that. That's 42 inches in diameter. To give you an idea how far away this tanker is, that walkway there is about a 1/4 mile long. I also wanted to point out these small shelters at the end of each walkway. These are provided for the crew members off the tanker. There's a phone there for them, and if they want to call into town, they can call for a taxi to get into town. Now, because security is high here on the terminal and we don't allow people to just walk around, the taxi will come right out here and pick them up. This barge off to the front of the bus is the spill equipment for the terminal site. This is also the staging area for the tugboats. The tugboats are on contract to Alyeska through Puget Sound Tug and Barge. At 25 miles out, a state licensed pilot will on the line, and with sufficient ground movement, an alarm would sound in OCC, and they could send out personnel from the nearest pump station to check the line. The operator which controls the terminal directs the oil flow from the east metering where it comes on the terminal, either down to the berths or up to the tank farms. Also from the tank farms down to the berths.
As you've no doubt gathered by now, we've been on a tour of the terminal on a bus. This is the east tank farm where there's 14 tanks, each holding over 500,000 barrels of oil. That's berth 1 down there, loading a smaller tanker. And that's berth 3, the larger tanker. And I had berth 4 and 5. 4 was one under construction. And that's the city of Valdez right across there. And Mineral Creek Canyon that we drove up the other day is the one right in the middle of the picture to the right of the power plant stack. I'll swing over here this way. Container dock. And then the airport is right straight back that canyon, and then the Valdez Glacier is back there, not the one you see. The Valdez Glacier is to the left of that one. And you can see the Valdez Glacier stream coming into the bay. This is, we're still at the same place. This is the lookout, the pavilion lookout above the terminal. This is the west tank farm where there's 4 more tanks. And then that would be berth 5 right down there with the Arco tanker that'll hold up to 2 million barrels of oil. It's 1,100 feet long. There's a draft of 67 feet. And then, of course, when they leave here, they go right on out. That way out through the Valdez Narrows and out past Hinchinbrook Island. It's about 65 miles out. You can see some small white boats here. They're fishing for silver salmon right now. I'll swing around again past berth 4, or berth 1 first, over here. Berth 1, and I'll swing over here to berth 3. And the power plant. And the incinerators. Berth 4 is being painted right now. That's why the blue plastic is on there. And there's berth 5. That's the road we came up on there. Good. Yeah, you can just move on down to the statue if you want. This is a statue right at the front of the terminal that to the memory of the people that worked on it. The welders and laborers and operators and teamsters and all that. Welder on this side here. Labor. And then back there is the front gate and the security offices. And you can see the tank farm, beginning of the East Tank Farm up there. This would be the maintenance building over here. And right over there is the cut where the pipeline actually comes down into the terminal, underground, right over there. This is the kind of guard chain around the monument. You can see there's anchors and flukes attached to it. And looking back over this way then is berth 1. Of course, they're still loading out that tanker there. And there's the city of Valdez again. And there's about 170 miles away from Valdez. We drove up the Richardson Highway to Glen Allen and down the Glen Highway, and we're at Sheep Mountain right now. That's what this is. We just saw some sheep just down the road a ways. About a dozen of them in one bunch. These are doll sheep. They're up on these mountains here. In fact, I see one over there, but it's pretty tough to get. The camera probably won't pick it up very much, but it's kind of a white spot in between where the trees are there. So there is at least one up in there. I don't see any back on these colorful mountains here. We're on our way to the Mountainous Glacier. It's just down the road, maybe another 30 miles or so. And we'll pull off. We'll get some good pictures there of the glacier itself. We'll get right down close to it. We also saw a bull moose on the Richardson Highway, about by Copper Center. It was in a kind of a gravel pit type area. It was clear at the back. Too far for a picture again. And we just saw an eagle fly across the road in front of us, just carrying a small animal, some kind, probably a ground squirrel, Parker squirrel that we have up here. Back at the Mountainous Glacier. I'll swing down the Mountainous River first just to show you this. This comes off the glacier here. And we drove down from the highway. It's about 4 or 5 miles down. We stopped near the Weenie Roast at one of the campgrounds on the way back. You see where the road comes down the hill, around the hill and down over there. See, there's ice right over there. That's part of the glacier clear over there. And even underneath the dirt, there's ice. You can see the white spots there. And we're going to walk down, right down by the glacier there. This is the Mountainous Glacier. The Mountainous River runs all the way down into Connect Arm down by Anchorage, right through Palmer. Yep, some tourists walking down the hill here. Or sliding down the hill, as the case may be. See the dirt here is that real fine glacier silt, so it tends to slide pretty easy. It's like dust. And that's why the water coming off the glacier is all gray and so on too, and most of the time. Well, we've come quite a ways down. We've got a ways to go yet. You can see how far we came from you just barely see the top of the Suburban over there. Came across all this. This is left behind by the glacier. And we're getting closer and closer to the edge of it. We'll see how close we can get to it here. Yeah, there's some people there on the other side. I think we can get over there, all right.
Here we come, ready or not. Wow. I can't believe I really did this. I don't know how I'm going to get back up that mountain. The silt and dirt from ages past. That's why this water's so dirty, till it gets down to the falls.
big chunk just broke off from this small portion of this iceberg. I think you might have just heard it as it dropped into this small pool. The chunks are dropping off. I'll let you listen.
Are you topping it?
We're still quite a ways from the actual glacier, but these are certainly parts of it where it's broken off some, and the main part of the glacier is still a little bit ahead of us. We'll go up there a ways and see what it looks like. Now maybe over here might be a little bit easier up that way. It's got some dirt on it for traction. The sunshine on is pretty, but if it was cloudy, then you could see the blue in the glacier more. We're a little bit closer now. Johnny's just walking up on the ice part of it. I'll just swing around a little bit here now. You can see the mountains in the background. And it's still quite a ways away. The glacier is so big you don't realize it, but that's probably that's at least a half a mile away. I'm going to climb up there with him, and leave the camera on while I'm climbing here. If I fall, I'll try to point the camera towards me. Yeah, I can see that big rock that's going around over there. Make a lot of ice cubes out of this.
Wow.
And you can see way over there the dirty ice. It's that far away.
It is too.
Yeah. There's Rochelle way back there. They wanted to. It looked a little too chancy for them, so her and her mother are waiting back there. Hiding behind the, the rocks or whatever. These are all part of the Chugach mountain range. You can hear the wind blowing up against there. Yeah, that's clean ice. You get down here and it's not real dirty here, but there's a lot of it there. And then as you go farther over, you can see that right there between here and where Rochelle was, it's dirty ice there, and you can swing way over there. Again, that's a long ways away, but that's dirty ice right over there. We're coming just a little bit farther from where we were. Winds. And you can see that this is still all ice, even the stuff that's got dirt on it, that's all ice underneath there. We'll swing back around to the south. Like I say, if it was cloudy, you could see that blue in there a lot better. It'd be nice to have some ice crampons to put on our shoes like we were in the wintertime. You can walk all around here a lot easier.
But this rest are used for ice
we're gonna put it in the cooler when we get back to the car.
Good.
Sure.
I'll put this in my cola.
And the ice in the glacier is so dense because it's got all the air pushed out of it that it takes a long time to melt.
Oh, yeah. You can see a lot of dirt in it, or is that gold?
Yeah, it's gold, yeah.
Wouldn't that be?
Black.
Yeah, black gold. That's what it
Yeah.
is. What's black? Oh, but look how it's shiny. Look how
Wow.
shiny it is. Look at the color in it.
In fact, the Japanese even buy that, and they ship it down to California. Some people here do. They use it in their drinks because it takes a lot longer to melt. Yeah.
It's cold. It's hot to feel this. This is just like rubber.
Maybe like clay, huh? Yeah, it's so fine grained. We're headed back to the car. Last year when Rochelle and I were here, there was so much water coming down right over there that we couldn't get this far. Couldn't get as far as we did today. We had to walk way around to the side of it.
We're getting higher and higher.
Isn't that some glacier?
Stronger and stronger.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Did you get a picture of that boiling out there?
Yeah, yeah. Where it's coming right out of the... I just heard a chunk fall off back there, but you can see the water boiling out from underneath there. It comes underneath the ice that's under that silt and it just comes right straight up like a spring. This is actually a moving picture. You can keep moving.
Oh, that's right.
Rochelle's carrying an iceberg. Like I say, this is all stuff left behind by the glacier when it started moving backwards, receding back. I'm back up at the parking lot. Rochelle is picking some weeds down there. Pretty steep coming up there. I'll go back down and help him up a little bit.
Proceed at your own risk from parking lot. Visitors for the nearby private property, including portions of the glacier itself, is not part of the Glacier Park Resort. Please respect this private ownership by not entering the posted property. Thank you. Cook Inlet Region Incorporated.
Oh, hi. I was taking a picture. Yeah, that sure is gorgeous there, isn't it?
This is back by Glacier Park Lodge, where we came through the gate to drive back to the glacier, another 3 miles back to the glacier from here. An old bulldozer that they used to put some of these roads in, I'm sure. This is the lodge. This wasn't open last year. They just opened it. It's open from April to October now. And you can see some typical in Alaska, the hanging baskets of flowers. It's easier to get them to grow that way. Yeah, yeah. There's some rhubarb there too, not quite enough to make a pie with, but behind you. to go. You can't see the glacier from here because of all the trees, but it's kind of a windy road. It's not a bad road, though. This is right alongside the lodge. We just noticed this big old army truck sitting back in the trees. It may have been one that was used for construction on the Alcan Highway 50 years ago. And then ended up here for some reason. This is the bridge we came over to get down to the lodge. The lodge is back quite a ways farther back that way, about a mile or so. And to get to the bridge, we had to come down that road right there. That steep one that comes right down there and then circles back and down into here. Now you'll notice a cabin right on the top there where the bank has fallen away fairly recently, so I'm not sure how long that cabin's going to be there. There's some people on another road over there. That's not quite a steeper road. I'm not sure where that goes.
I don't know if there's gold in there or not, but it's got a pan full of something.
Yeah, we're back at Long Rifle Lodge. This is just down the road, just a little bit from the glacier. No, that's an old sourdough.
Oh, we're gonna get sourdough biscuits. Wow, sourdough pancakes tonight. Pretty neat. This is solid food, isn't it?
Yep.
I got ice in my mouth. You see where Dick took that piece of ice out of that glacier? I see it right up there, don't you?